and we are good to run. Okay, it's good to see everyone. I see Angie, I see Cheyenne, I see Pastor Christine, I see Mr. Grace, I see Lenny, and I see Sherry. Yeah, go ahead, excused herself. She has an event, but she'll catch up with us or with the notes. It's good to have everybody. Today I'm gonna ask everyone to say something in 30 seconds. I'm gonna begin with Lenny. Where's Lenny? Lenny, how have you been? How is your week? Are you enjoying the classes? Hello. Great. Great. That lovely. Lovely to have you, Lenny. Leader in the making. I was talking to your mom yesterday. Yeah. Please say hello to Joseph if he's not there with you. I'm going to be calling you sometime. I'll tell you when. Okay? Yeah. Let's go to Angie. Hello. That's beautiful. Beautiful. Thank you so much, Angie. Shayon, how are you? Shayon, are you there? I Yeah, but you're very low. If you can speak up. Yeah. Yes, we can hear you. Yes, we can hear you. Great. Great. Thank you. Thank you, Shayon. Let's go to Sherry. Yeah, we can hear you loud and clear. Great. Awesome. Awesome. Thank you so much. Thank you, everybody. Pastor Christine is somewhere in a meeting. Is Minister Grace there? Minister Grace, can you say something? Good evening. Great. Th- Beautiful. Thank you so much. Thank you so much, Minister Grace. We truly appreciate you and all the ministers who help us set up everything and make sure everything is running. We are very, very, very grateful and we honor God for you. Today, I want us to learn about effective communication. It's a very, very, very important lesson for where you're going. and for where you are. Many of us, like Minister Grace is saying, many of us did not have the opportunity to be trained on how to communicate. We just grew up, okay? We just grew up, made mistakes, and you don't know the opportunities you missed because you didn't know what to say, where to say it, when to say it, okay? So we don't want the people in this academy to miss on any opportunities or to grow in a weak way just because they have not been trained on how to do such things as communication. So today we're going to look at effective communication. And today I'd like us to learn at a slightly higher level. This is the psychology of the academy. We don't train you for where you are. We train you for where you're going. So you will notice that some of the things we train you are a bit high. I don't want you to see it as too hard. That's not the attitude. The attitude should be that you're being trained what your peers are not being trained. So we are taking you into the future. As a family, we are traveling into the future and beginning to look at life ahead of everybody else. So we may train you slightly at a higher level or at a maturer age. It's because of that. If you ask anyone who is successful today, they'll tell you they started hanging out with adults and grown-ups while they were still young. That's how they managed to be ahead of their peers. And that's the whole idea of the academy, is to travel with you, hold your hand and travel with you to the future, so that by the time your peers get to the future, 10 years, 15 years to come, you are there 15 years ahead. Okay? So we're going to learn, and you're going to learn hard things, truthful things, but the earlier you know these things, the better, so that you're able to be ahead of the game. So this lesson is deliberately crafted that way, but I want us to receive it because we have the mind of Christ. Now, effective communication is one of the most valuable skills you can develop. Okay? Warren Buffett said the other day that if he would go back to his younger self, what he would learn as a priority is how to communicate. He says, anyone who wants to be successful in life, the number one advice he would give them is to learn communication. It's not to learn marketing, it's not to learn skills, it's not to learn design, it's not to take a degree, it's to learn how to communicate. Because whoever you become, the success of whatever direction you head will have a lot to do with your ability to communicate. That's why, for instance, myself, I can give you an example. I've had to train myself over years just to stand and teach, just to stand and preach, just to do a presentation. I've had to learn that over a very long period of time. And one of the things that will keep you ahead of life is knowing what to say, when to say it, who to say it to. Okay? And that's what we're going to be looking at today. So whether you're speaking to one person or addressing a group of people or even speaking to God, you have to know what to say. If you're speaking to God, what do you tell him? How do you draft your prayers? Do you get organized? If you're to meet the president, you would walk there with a notebook and pen. You would organize your thoughts. You would organize your presentation. How do you approach God? Even when you go to pray, are you organized like that? If you prepare to meet a president, how much more should you prepare to meet God? You see, so communication is everything. It touches on every aspect of your life. So learning to communicate and articulate ideas is actually a superpower. It's a superpower. If you know how to talk, you've already gotten yourself a personal superpower. Every room you enter is full of people who are craving clarity, direction, encouragement, hope, meaning, love, motivation. And the person who knows how to talk becomes the immediate supplier of the needs in the room. Do you know, even if you walk into a room and you have no money in your pocket, you can walk out of that room with money if you know how to talk. You can meet strangers in a train, in a bus, anywhere, in a different city, people you've never met for the first time. You're meeting them now. And the way you interact with them, you can make them go to their bank and transfer money to you and pay you for a service and pay you, send you a gift just by how you communicate. You do not reach these people with information alone. You reach them through your presence, your heart, and the skill, how you leverage those things, how you posture yourself, your presence, your heart, your language is a skill. How you posture it is how you reach these people. Great communication is not a talent. There's nobody who is talented with talking, okay? You have to learn it as a craft. It is learned as a craft. We learn how to express ourselves and how to resolve conflicts. And I want you to listen to me keenly, because this evening, something is going to change about you, something very significant. I want you to begin to put yourself in a place where you can talk, where you can tell people what to do with your mouth. Do you know you can command Goliath with your mouth like David? You can look at Goliath, small as you are like David, and look at the giant and begin to issue commands with your mouth. And if you know what to say, you can deconstruct Goliath by just the right kind of communication. Okay? So it doesn't matter how small you are or how disadvantaged you are, you can talk yourself out of problems. You can talk yourself out of poverty. You can speak yourself out of abuse. You can talk, you can negotiate yourself out of any situation. But if you don't know how to talk and to communicate, then there's a lot of problems ahead. So tonight is going to be a night that's going to change a lot about you. So we learn how to express ourselves, how to resolve conflicts, but somebody has to train you how to do it. Good communication leads to healthier social interactions. If you want to interact with people, are you having a bad relationship with your mom, with your dad, with your relatives, with your friends? Are you having a challenge having friendships, sustaining friendships? If you know how to communicate, you become the fresh air to your social interactions. And learning how to communicate with people will greatly reduce tension and the stress around you. A lot of the stress around you is because you don't know how to talk, or you don't know what to say. You don't know how to dissolve conflicts. You don't know. So there are people you haven't spoken to for 2 years just because you don't know how to dissolve conflict with the right words. Maybe you even created that problem by saying the wrong thing to the right person. Maybe you lost a relationship because of something you said or didn't say when you were supposed to say it. You see, communication can shape your life in ways I cannot explain to you. So it's very, very crucial that you begin to learn the art of communications. So learning how to communicate with people will greatly improve your experience of life and your interactions with the people around you. When you don't explain yourself, listen to me guys, when you don't know how to explain yourself, you leave people to explain you, and they more often than not judge you the wrong way. People make wrong conclusions about you until you open your mouth and say your story. We want to hear your story. We don't want to create these fables and these stories and these imagined things about you just because you're not telling us about yourself. You must be your own marketing manager. You have to tell us your story. You have to tell us who you are. You have to represent yourself. You're the brand of your life. So tell us your stories. Tell us who you are. You hear me when I'm teaching. I tell you about where I'm coming from because it brings credibility, and it also tells you ahead of time so that you never meet a stranger who lies to you about me. Why? Because I already gave you my story. You already know where I'm coming from. If somebody comes and begins to talk strange about me, you can silence them and tell them, no. That's not true. That's not true about Pastor John. I know Pastor John. Why? How did you know about me? I told you. You see? So it's very important for you to learn how to tell your story. You must be able to explain yourself. What are your likes? What are your dislikes? What don't you like? How don't you like being spoken to? How don't you like being treated? You have to tell people. You train people around you how to handle you. So good communication will make sure that you have healthier connection. So always take the lead to tell your story. Tell us about yourself. And if you cannot talk properly, if you're not good at talking, there are people who are not good at talking. Write a song, write a poem, begin to communicate, write a book, tell us a testimony. When you're given a moment to speak or to give announcements in church, let us experience you. Don't just tell us English. Give us an experience of sharing. Let's go home having experienced sharing. Who is this girl? What is the mystery behind her? What's the mystery behind her beauty and gait and confidence? Let's hear that. You see, we want to see that. You have to be the one to take the lead to tell us your story. So tell us about yourself. Tell us. Introduce yourself to the world in your own words. Don't let people introduce you. Be your own introducer. Okay? Angie, you're listening to me. Okay? So don't live in the world those around you, even your parents, created for you. I want you to begin to create and formulate your own world. Okay? Learning. Begin to design your world. How do you want people to receive you, perceive you as who? As a leader, as a man, as a confident young man? Do you have a vision? Do you have a picture of the wife you want? The kind of job that you want to do? And don't worry that you're in the UK and everybody behaves in the same way. No. Draft your own dream that suits your recipe. Cook your life using your own ingredients. Okay? You have to be confident enough to design your life. Design it, fashion it, and begin to communicate. Begin to say. I told you the other day when I was teaching in church, I told you when I was in primary school, I was already speaking the color of my first car. I didn't even know. I used to say the color of my car. I didn't even know you can have a first car, second car, third car, 10th car. I didn't know. So I used to say when I was in primary school, I used to say, my car will be maroon. Sure enough, my first car was maroon. I used to say when I was in primary school, the first company I will work for is called Somac Travel, because I used to see their minivans carrying tourists passing through my village. And I would love it. I would see it. I would admire it. And I would tell everybody, one day I'm going to work for that company. Let me tell you, I did not even finish doing my exams of college. Somac Travel called my school, talked to the director, said they want one student to work for them. I am not part of this conversation. The director picked me, recommended me before I did exams. So they were not even referring to my resume or my CV. No. Many years before, I had already said what I wanted. And I went on to work for Somac Travel. Imagine that. So design your life without fear. And don't design it based on the logistics, on the pictures, on the prevailing behavior and norms of your environment. Design your life from inside. Tell us your story. So don't live in the world that you found your parents living in, or the world they have defined for you. No. Begin to define your world and begin to tell us who you are. And so effective communication is a life skill we must learn. As a family, I want you guys, when you walk into a room, I want people to salute you. Sherry, when you walk into a room, I want every girl in that room to know somebody important has walked in. Okay? Yeah, Sharon, when I send you to Nairobi, I send you to Lagos. When you walk into a boardroom, I want people to know somebody important has just walked through that door. Okay? Angie, when you pick that microphone and the church is packed with thousands of people, I want everybody to know that somebody with authority has just tapped on the podium. Okay? And this is how you do it. These are the skills I'm teaching you right now. So don't wonder why I'm teaching you this. You're going to need it. Begin to assimilate it, absorb it, eat it. You're going to be required to demonstrate it. So in simple terms, effective communication is the passing of information and understanding from one person's brain to another person's brain. I've just said something very important. So what is effective communication? Effective communication, sharing, is when what you're thinking and the way you're feeling internally before you open your mouth, the way you're feeling, what you're thinking, what you have understood by yourself. Effective communication is you sitting across the table from me and putting your words, your feelings, your thoughts, your emotions, your understanding into containers called words and sending them to me across the table. When I pick those containers and unpack them and consume what is inside, I should end up feeling, understanding, and thinking exactly the way you are feeling, thinking, or seeing. That is called effective communication. It is when we take our internal environment and transmit it to another person without distortion. Okay? That is effective communication. Okay? So it's exchanging information, exchanging thoughts, and exchanging emotions. These are 3 layers of communication. So before today, you thought communication is talking, only talking. No. There is more. You have to make me feel the way you feel. You have to make me understand what you understand that made you speak the words that you spoke. So communication is not just words. I want to come into your world and feel you. Do you feel me? That's communication. So you have to be able to master this art until you can move people to tears if what you're telling them made you cry. You see that? Very important. So communication is an art you have to build over time. You have to research it. And it is very, very, very crucial. It is a matter of life and death. It will measure your level of success. So communication is not just what you say, but how you say it. And when you say it, and most importantly, how it's received by the other person. And it can make all the difference between being understood or being ignored. You can say exactly the same thing, and I come and say the exact same thing, and people remember one person, and if they forget the other one. Yet we say the same thing. Today, if a pastor in Nairobi or Lagos said, "Hallelujah," and Bishop T.D. Jakes picked the microphone and said, "Hallelujah," there is one hallelujah that will be remembered. Why is that? Why is that? Ask yourself, why is that? It's not because Bishop Jakes is famous. No. It's because he has known how to enter your head without knocking. He enters your heart without knocking. You wake up like this, you find he's already seated in your heart. You are asking him, tell me whatever you want. It's called mastery. You have to know how to talk, how to communicate, all right? So a lot of people know how to talk, but they don't know how to communicate. And I believe that those people are also in this class. You know how to talk. Yeah, you know how to say, cook me an egg. But you have not communicated. You have just talked. That's a very huge difference. A lot of people think they can communicate. But when put on the spot, they can't do it. They can't do it. It takes a lot to transfer communication into the hearts of people. So learning to communicate effectively is something that you have to take intentionally and begin to work on it. Practice it. You know, it's a practice. You have to practice it. You have to practice using communication tools until what we learn today becomes your reality. Let me ask you a question. For instance, there's a way powerful people communicate. Have you looked at, after this class, I want you to go and observe how President Trump speaks. Look at how somebody like Elon Musk speaks. Today I was listening to Lord Sugar. Do you know who is Lord Sugar? Go find out. Lord Sugar is one of the UK billionaires. Go listen to Lord Sugar. Lord Sugar is one short man like this, but he's a billionaire. One of the most successful British billionaires. I want you to go to listen to him. When Lord Sugar speaks, authority is in the room. Yet he's just talking. In fact, he could be surrounded by people and all of them are talking. But when it's his turn to talk, when he begins to talk, you know power has entered the room. Look at these guys. How do they talk? How do they command such respect? Even if you're meeting them for the first time, you don't know them, you've never met them, you don't know their history, you don't know the amount of money in their bank. How comes that when they talk, there is something about them? What is that? We want to find out. How does the president speak? The tone of their voice. You will never hear them crack under the tons and tons of pressure that they carry. Somebody like President Trump is the president of America. He has immense pressure to carry every day. He has just solved the 8th war in the world. He's now global in, influencing things on the global scale. Imagine the amount of pressure on him. But you'll never hear him crack while talking. You'll never see him cry. You will never hear him stressed. Never. When he talks, he talks. Everything is under control. Why are we panicking? No. What is that? You have to ask yourself, what's that? How comes I don't have that? I want to have it. So you begin to research and to grow. You have to know that these people, there's something that makes them, there's something my late bishop used to say. He used to say, I can never be poor. At first, when I first heard him say that, to me, because I was coming from poverty, and poverty was bad, I thought he was being proud. Only to realize later, he's actually talking from the state of self-awareness because of what he knows. He can never be poor. Poverty cannot come such as evil. Like how? He cannot even have guts to come to. For good. He loses all that he has because of who he is and who he has come. He can build from zero to billions again. You see? It's very important that you catch those things that makes you understand who you are, the depths of who you are. So, life is not here to shake you, you're here to shake it. Yes, those are the skills I want to teach you. Many of you will have the opportunity to lead people, teach in church, preach, lead teams, and need to learn how to communicate, command power and respect like this. So I want us to look at what is stopping you from effective communication. Let's look at it quickly. 5 barriers that experts commonly point out to that make people not be able to appropriately communicate. So listen to me keenly. Number 1 is who are listening. You don't know how to communicate because you don't listen. So I'm overturning script today because I've thought that communicating is key. But that's only the communication is more than talking. In fact, communication does not begin with talking, it begins with listening. One of the barriers of communication is because you don't listen. I want you to begin to practice after today. When people are talking, master the art of listening. Pick what people are saying and what they're saying. I want you to trust to train you how to read between the lines. When somebody's talking to you, can you pick their sentences? Can you finish their sentences for them? Because you have mastered how to listen. You already know how easy it is to drift off. Plan your reply or judge the person speaking. When this happens, you miss the meaning and you create tension because you're not listening. When I talk to you, stop thinking of what to say and just listen to me. Okay? So that is one hindrance. Is a poor communication skill when you don't listen. Problem there. Big problem. So communication does not begin with talking. It begins with listening. Number 2, assumptions and mind reading. People often think they know what the other person meant. No, you didn't know. If you don't hear it clearly, ask, Pastor, what do you mean by that? Coach, what do you mean by that? I didn't get it. Please repeat it to me. Break it down for me. This is the part I didn't understand. Don't assume that you understood. One wrong assumption can shift a whole conversation in the wrong direction. Don't mind read. Ladies, listen to me. Men are not mind readers. We don't read your mind. I tell my wife that all the time. When you're talking to me, tell me everything in your head. I'm not reading your mind. So we're not mind readers. So tell us what is in your mind. Don't talk and jump a whole chunk of information and tell me the conclusion and then begin to interrogate me as if I know the whole story. No. Please tell me the story. Okay? So it's a poor way of communicating if you have assumptions and you assume people are reading your mind. Number 3, emotional noise. Some of you want to communicate. You want to have a fruitful, productive conversation with your friend, with your sister, with your manager, with your schoolmates, with your peers, with your pastor, with Pastor Christine. You want to have a constructive dialogue, but you have emotional noise. What is emotional noise? It is stress, anger, fear, or hurt. These things can block what you hear or twist what you hear. If you have meaningful conversations, make sure you have no emotional noise in your mind. Even a small emotional spike. Emotion. Do you know? Let me give you a secret. Every time I'm preaching on Sunday, I don't have any other conversations from Friday. For instance, nobody will call me on Friday and begin to tell me, oh, this piece of land, we need to speak to the lawyer. I'm not going to have that conversation. I'm not receiving calls even from my siblings telling me problems. I don't. I'll talk to them from Monday to Thursday. From Friday, I'm in a different world because I have people to communicate to. I have people to tell something important on Sunday. So I don't have emotional noise by the time I pick the microphone on Sunday. Everything else can wait. Why? Because communicating to me is very important. Okay? Number 4, unclear language. Stop using jargon and vague words that you don't understand, or long explanations that make it hard for someone to understand what you're saying. Craft your statements short, punchy, clear, that people can understand. I ask myself this question before I teach. Can I communicate this idea until a 5-year-old can understand it? Okay? Now, sometimes we think in very complex formats, but you have to be able to break it down through the skill of communication so that we are able to talk and convey ourselves in the moment or opportunity that we have to communicate to people. And number 5 is cultural and style differences. When I came to this country, I realized that there was language barrier. I thought I would speak English. I could speak English, I was very good in English, but I realized there is another English in this country. Now I have to learn because of the cultural difference and the style difference. I have to learn so that there is no communication barrier. I've been in offices and spaces where, for instance, and I'm giving just as an example, I've noticed like Europeans, Eastern Europeans, they can speak English, but it's not perfect. They struggle a lot to say something. And I've noticed because of that, in a meeting, you will see them very edgy, angry, they have tension. Why? Because of the language barrier. They have something to say and contribute, but it's not coming across because this is United Kingdom. Here we speak the Queen's English. You see? So you have to be aware of your environment. If you're going into a space where people are not of the same culture and style of communication, you have to be self-aware so that you adapt to them and be able to communicate. So that's a barrier that you cannot ignore. Many of you will be leading teams in your workplace. Be sensitive about that. When you notice somebody is having a hard time expressing themselves, be more patient with them. If they tell you something, you're the manager, they are working under you, they are communicating something to you, be patient with them. Repeat what you have understood to them so that they can tell you, oh yes, that's what I meant. Or no, that's not what I meant. Okay? These are the things I'm teaching you. They will make your work easier. They will make you a manager that is preferred above other managers by people you lead. Okay? So these are very important. Notice the cultural differences and the style. So how do you communicate effectively? So in a broad general sense, I want us to look at how do you communicate effectively. These lessons apply not just to public speaking that we are about to learn, but also even when you meet one-on-one, in meetings, in conversations with your mom, with your dad, with your sister, with your siblings, with your friends. How do you communicate? I want us to look at a general outlook of how you communicate. Now, this course is called the Spark course. There's another course, second level, called the Soar, and then there's the third level called the Shine. In SOAR, we get to break these things down. We begin to tell you, when you meet the girl for the first time, what do you tell her? In the second level, we begin to tell you, this is just foundation. So in the next level, if you will be in that level, and I pray everybody gets to that level, we'll be able to tell you, when you meet a rich person for the first time, what do you tell them in 30 seconds? When you go for an interview, how do you introduce yourself? We'll begin to break it down for you. You see? So today I just want us to look at the basic, the general, but it's also very concrete, important, and it's going to help you a big way. So let's start first of all with the general golden rule of communication. The golden rule of communication anywhere you are is learning how to listen with intention. Learn how to listen with intention. Intentionally listen. That is the golden rule of communication. You have to, understand that communication is about connection. Don't say serious things until you establish the connection. So there's the introduction. Even in church, when I'm teaching, you notice I start with an introduction. What I'm doing in the introduction, I'm looking for connection. And then after introduction, now I can tell Bluetooth device successfully connected. Then now to the gong stuff. Okay, so it's important for you to be able to do that. You have to do that. You have to protect it. With icebreaker. Let them relax. Meeting a girl, you don't just come straight and tell them how you. No, they will not marry you after that. You have to be able to ask them, what's your favorite coffee? What's your favorite sport in London? Can we have coffee at Pret a Manger? Ask them something. When you come to the UK, what do you like about men? What do you prefer in a boyfriend? Break the ice. Don't just hit the ball running. Okay? So you have to know that there's a connection, and that connection is very important. How do you trick that connection? Is through listening with intention. Let me give you a couple of things that will help you to listen with intention. Eye contact and body language. How do you leverage eye contact and body language? Non-verbal cues are this that set the tone of conversation. Eye contact. Look at the speaker's eyes at comfortable level. Always look at the eyes of people you're talking to. I can tell if you're lying to me by looking at your eyes. Okay? Here, if you have nothing to hide, you open your eyes wide and talk and converse. I enjoy having conversations with you guys. You're very intelligent guys. When I'm talking to you, I notice all of you because we have a good, cordial relationship. We're able to talk eyeball to eyeball, eye contact. Very important. It keeps the aura of confidence at high, comfortable levels. So this shows your interest and respect, but don't stare. Okay? Don't stare. Intelligently keep the eye contact. Okay? Then face the person that you're talking to. Don't talk to somebody and they are over here and you're looking this way. No. Give people attention. Face the person you're talking to. Sit or stand upright. Don't fidget. Don't move about. Focus on the person you're talking to. They have given you a portion of their life. Time. Pay it with respect. Talk to them. Look at them. Look at them. Stand before them. Upright. Don't fidget. Okay? Don't cross your legs and your arms when you're talking to somebody you respect. When you cross your arms like this, you are actually communicating a non-verbal cue saying, I don't want you. I'm closed for business. You're wasting my time. You will never see a president talking crossing their arms. Never. Look at every president of the world. You will never see any leader talking like this. No. It's like they're sizing you up. No. When you're talking to people that are important, don't even look at your watch. There's something called Al Gore. Al Gore was running for the vice president of the U.S. and there was a vice president's debate before the elections. Okay, so he was running for the vice president. And during the debate, while everybody was on stage, the whole world is watching. That interview is watched, but that debate is watched by probably over 100 million people across the world. Al Gore just did this. He looked at his watch on live television. And this is how the entire America interpreted it. You don't have our time. And he didn't win. You see, imagine 100 million people interpreting a gesture like that and you miss a job. Look at that. So we communicate in a lot of ways that we are not aware of. It's important that I train you and teach you. So you have to pay attention. Need that open posture. Let people know, hey, come on, you're welcome here. Always know you're welcome here. I'll always listen to you. Okay? Always do that. Open yourself up. Gestures and expressions. Nod, smile. Use gentle gestures to show engagement. For example, nod and lean slightly forward when people are talking to you. You are showing them you're interested. Show them you're interested. Okay? Show people you're interested. Lean in when I'm talking to you. Lean in. It tells me something about what I'm saying that it's important to you. You see? Lean in slightly, So nod. Show engagement. Say yes. Yes, sir. I hear. Okay, Pastor. We'll do it. Okay? Yeah. Show that. That is good communication posture. Okay? So face the speaker, remove distractions, put your phone away. You can't be talking to people and they're scrolling through your phone. It's lack of manners. It's not leader-like. Show you're listening. Okay? So it's very, 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 very important. Sometimes repeat back or rephrase what you have heard so that it sounds like you when they're telling you something. Pastor, you've just said this and this. Let me get you clear. Is this what you meant? Yes. It shows we're communicating. Okay? And it shows that you're committed to understanding. And the other thing is encourage more sharing. Did you feel? Did you get what I said? Interact like that. Ask those questions. Let it be known that you're part of conversation. That's the golden rule. So quickly, let's look at some of the things that guide how believable and how who you are when you're communicating. What are the things you have to consider? Number one is credibility. You have to consider credibility. People listen to a voice they trust. People listen to people that they trust. So you have to know this. As a leader, begin to build your character and your integrity, because that is the down payment for the day you will require people to pay attention. Okay? You have to become a trustworthy person. Your words matter more than your life backs them. You see, you have to know that your words matter a lot, but your life has to back what you're saying. So people ask, "What are you saying?" They ask, "Who are you?" Before you talk to them, they are analyzing, "Who are you? Who is this guy? Why is he talking to me? I don't trust you. Why should I listen to you?" You see? So it's very important that you make sure your integrity, your name precedes you, goes before you. People honor you, people respect you, so that the day you speak, they receive what you're saying. Number two, observation. You read the room before you speak to the room. Anytime you walk into a space, whether you're talking to one person or you're talking to a multitude, always read the room. When you enter a room, read the room. What can I say here? What shouldn't I say here? Read. Are people tired? So that you know what to say and what not to say. I'm constantly reading people when I'm teaching on Sunday. I can tell when the concentration goes down. I can tell. When I begin to slow down, I begin to crack jokes. I begin to tell stories. I begin to adjust the same message based on the room. The same people, but their concentration has begun to go down. But I have something to say and tell them. So I have to begin to adjust myself so that I'm an effective communicator. You have to know if it's in the afternoon, how do people behave? In the morning, how do people behave? Do you know, with the same set of rules and laws, that is, deny bail more in the afternoon than they deny it more than in the morning. Why? Because they have depleted their mental capacity by afternoon. Yet they are using the same laws, same lawyers, same courtroom. You see? So human beings deplete their mental resource with a lot of factors. So when you enter the room, read the room. Begin to know, when should I tell my mom this, if this is what I want? How do I talk to pastor so that he understands me this way? What is the best time to talk to pastor? For instance, I cannot come to church, I have not preached, and you want counseling. You have not read the room. I need to preach first, then we can talk later. You see? So you have to observe. It makes you a master communicator. Number 3, passion. When the message moves you, it is likely going to move the listener. Okay? I can tell how Sunday will be. Will it be fire or not fire? By Friday, by Thursday evening. I already know how Sunday is going to look. Because I can tell what's burning in me. If it's burning in me, it will burn in Cheryl. It will burn in Cheyenne. So you have to know, if you expect fire, if you want fire in that meeting, if you want excitement, you design the excitement before you get to that room. You see that? It's called passion, the rule of passion. Generate the passion on your own before you meet the people. What do you want people to feel when you talk to them? Generate the feeling in private. Privacy. Generate it. Build it. Say, organize your words, organize your vocabulary, phrases, English, examples, jokes, write them down, know what to say, know what to do, organize the fire before you arrive there. It's called the rule of passion. Number 4, connection. People receive from you when they feel you see them. Don't lecture people. As a leader, never lecture people. See people, notice people. You notice we mention a lot of your names when we are preaching. We want you to feel part of what we're saying. We want you to feel psychologically seen and heard and acknowledged. It makes you part of the conversation. Okay? So it's called the connection thing. You have to connect with people. People listen and receive from you if there's a connection. If you notice you have a bad connection, sister, don't talk serious matter. First work on the connection. What is it? Take your sister out for coffee. Sherry, take your sister out for coffee. Go have coffee. How now? Just you and your sister. Talk. Plan together. Find out what's going on with her life. Make that connection. And then it will become the platform on which you can speak serious things. Now you can say, after your coffee, joked, laughed, just the two of you. Now you can say, by the way, I didn't like the way you spoke to me on Monday. I didn't like the way. And it's the matter is sorted. Because you established connection first. People are more important than problems that need to be solved. People are more important. Laws are made for people. People are not made for laws. You have to know that. So you have to value people. The person you're talking to, value them. Be more interested with connecting with them than you being heard by them. The information you want to convey is not more important than the person. So you have to cultivate connection. Number 5, simplicity. Simplicity. I want you to be very simple. Now, listen to me. These things are not things you will learn overnight. They're things that will take you some time. I'm still learning. I'm still reading these notes. Everything I'm teaching you, I have to go back and read it. I have to apply this to my life. After practicing them for years, I still have to practice them. I have to improve. I have to keep going. Today, I spent probably like 2 hours just planning how I want to communicate in 2026. There is a way I want to communicate. I have to design it now, before 2026. There is a way I want to do my presentations. There is a way I want to talk. There is a way I want to connect with people. Okay? So it's important that I establish that. So simplicity becomes something you master the more you do things. Okay? See, let me tell you something. You make things simple to the extent that you understand them. So the more you understand something, the more simply you can communicate it. The most easily you can communicate it. If you notice you're overcomplicating something, you do not understand it well. Okay? And that is a mistake all leaders make. Because, for instance, just because I'm teaching on Sunday does not mean I know what I'm teaching on Sunday. Maybe I'm also learning it for the first time. So I have not become a master yet. I'm a pro, but I'm not a master by the time I teach it for the first time. They say, for instance, as someone in church, people catch it when it's taught for the 50th time. That's the rule of preachers. Imagine if I was to teach you one sermon 50 times. It's to teach you one sermon for 1 year. Now you will catch what I was saying. You see? So simplicity is very important. Simple words carry weight. And I want you to start working towards this. Simplicity. Simple words carry a lot of weight. Cut the noise, get to the point, and use clean language. As leaders, we don't use vulgar language. In this class, we don't swear. Forget those things. We are not there. Those are not things we do. We are clean people. We are organized. We are neat, even in our languaging. So don't be shallow. Okay, just make it simple and powerful, memorable, and forgettable. So simplify what you want to talk. Before you talk it, think and simplify it. How can I say this statement in a very simple way? Always ask yourself that question. How can I say this in a very, very simple way? Number 6, the story. You hear me saying story. Let's talk at it. Let's look at it. Stories go where plain statements cannot. If you want to be an interesting communicator, learn stories. Be conversant with things. Don't just go into the details of things. When you want to talk to somebody or a group of people, give them stories, give them illustrations. The stories stick more than what you want to say. So when you give them the story, whether it's one person or it's a group of people you're talking to, when you include a story into the thing you want to communicate, when they remember the story, they remember the lesson. Okay? So learn as many things as possible. Some of you don't read. I want you to begin to read. Begin to read. On 25th of January, I'm releasing my book. It's powerful. It's good. You're going to love it. I want you to read it. Take time and read it. In fact, on that day, we're trusting God will release it in written and audio, so you can listen. Today I spent, because I had some few hours to myself, I spent those hours listening to the book. It's beautiful. Hey, even me, I was listening, I'm like, hey, did I write that? That's powerful. Stories. Oh, wow. That's so, I can, even me, I'm blessed. That's in my book. You see, stories are very good. So learn, give the narratives, the narrations. Be proud to be poetic. Okay? It's called the story fluff. The poetic fluff. Put it there. Have stories. Have stories. Know how to narrate things. Know how to crack jokes. Don't be a born communicator. Have some jokes, Angie. I'm looking forward to hearing jokes. I want jokes. I want to remember. I want to laugh until you're rolling on the floor. You see? Yeah. Make yourself interesting. Communicate in a memorable way. Let people look forward to hearing from you. When they know you are the one talking, let them come to the meeting. Are you listening to me, people? Right? So it's important for you to include this. Include this. Number 7, relevance. People listen when the message touches their world. Okay? Make what you want to say relevant to the person you're talking to. Okay? Make it relevant. Give examples they can relate with. Give references they are aware of. Sometimes I talk to my wife, I can be very conk because I am always thinking very concentrated things, very conk things. And sometimes before I break them down, I talk to my wife. And my wife will be looking at me like this. The other day, I told her, what did I tell my wife? I told her something. And she asked me, baby, what is that? Now I have to break it down because that's a very conk word. She may not have a dictionary. When I'm talking to, imagine I'm talking to my wife, she has a dictionary, checking what I'm saying. No, I have to break it down. I cannot bore her by saying concentrated things. I have to be relevant to her, you see. So you have to be relevant to the people you're talking to. You have to make sure that you tap into their world. Some of you, I send you probably to go and do a presentation, sharing. Maybe you go and do a presentation in Nairobi at Safaricom. Familiarize yourself with the culture of Safaricom. Familiarize yourself with the culture of Nairobi. Okay? Give examples of Mokimo. Don't give examples of fish and chips. Fish and chips is for London and kebab. Give examples of Nairobi. Tell them I want to eat pumpkin and I want to eat and githeri. Okay? Imagine you're eating your sumptuous githeri. Be relevant. Give examples that your listeners listen to can relate to you. Don't be boring. Don't give them examples that suit you. No. You're not talking to yourself. You're talking to people. Give them examples and communicate in a way that is relevant. So people listen when the message touches their world. If you're talking to parents, give them real-time examples of children. If you're talking to men, you can't talk a conversation with men and don't mention money. Mullah. You have to talk about money. Okay? Yeah. If you want, you have to enter people's heads and speak from there. I have to be able to sit in your heart and begin to tell you things from your heart. And you don't feel like there's a stranger in your heart. You see? So relevance. The rest of the things, they will be in the notes. And I want you to read them and study them because they are in the assessment for today. Did you enjoy the class? Let me know if you enjoyed the class. We have 2 minutes. I want to hear from you. Did you enjoy the class? Did you understand something? Hey, did you enjoy? Did you enjoy? Yeah. Guys, I really want the best for you. We want the best for you. We believe in you more than you believe in yourself. We know for sure we will see you at the top. We know everybody in this class, you will make it. You will be commanding respect among your peers. You will be the best, the most preferred manager in your office. Let me tell you, listen, and you will see this happening. People will be voting you to give you the best award in the company because you know your way around people. Yeah. The next time it's time for you to preach in church, people will be standing up and clapping because you know how to communicate. When it's the next time you're on Bible study, people will be rushing through traffic not to miss Bible study. Why? Because it's Shayon teaching. He's aware of how to hook up people and talk to them and communicate to them. Listen to me, sons and daughters. Don't be stressed. You know better. I've trained you better. You can do it. Don't consider your age. You can do a business proposal and pitch it to billionaires. You can go on Dragon's Den and pitch your business idea. You can go to Shark Tank and tell them, if you give me £100,000, this is what I'm going to do. This is what I'm going to do. This is how many people I'm going to change. Communicate until billionaires put money in your bank. Somebody give God glory. Hallelujah. Amen. I know you learned something. I know you enjoyed. We had a lot to cover. There's still a lot in the notes. And I want you to read that because I'm going to help you. I love you very much. I'm going to see you next week. Same place, same time. I love you. God bless you.